Chop Robinson's rookie campaign with the Miami Dolphins? Let's just say it wasn't an immediate explosion onto the scene. It took time. It took adjustment. It took some bruises, both physical and mental. But by the time the dust settled on the 2024 season, this young man wasn't just another name on the roster. He had arrived. And let's be clear, he didn't do it alone. Veterans played their part, mentors emerged, and opponents, yes, even the ones who tormented him, shaped his journey. Sitting down on Radio Row at the Super Bowl, doing a bit of work with Campbell's Chunky Soup, Robinson reflected on the trials of his first year in the NFL. He spoke with the Athletic's Diane Rossini, and what he revealed wasn't just about football. It was about survival. It was about adaptation. It was about understanding that the league doesn't care about potential. The league doesn't wait for you to figure things out. You either adjust, or you get exposed. And for Chop Robinson, that realization came somewhere between the 5 to 6 game mark. That's when things started clicking. That's when he started seeing the field differently. That's when he started to become the player Miami envisioned when they made him a first-round pick. How did he make the jump? Film study. A lot of it. But not just any film study. He immersed himself in the wisdom of guys who had been there before. Bradley Chubb became more than a teammate. He became a guide. The vets in the locker room became more than just voices in the background. They became blueprints. Chop didn't just watch, he absorbed. He took what worked. He discarded what didn't. And he built himself into a force. And by season's end, he wasn't just adjusting anymore. He was disrupting. He was impacting. He was proving why Miami invested in him. 6 sacks. A PFWA all-rookie selection. Those are the numbers, sure. But numbers don't tell you what really happened. Numbers don't show you the moments where he hesitated early in the season, second-guessing his get-off, struggling to counter when offensive tackles got their hands on him. Numbers don't show you the frustration of knowing you're close, but just not quite there. But what the numbers do show: growth. The arc of a player who refused to plateau. A player who figured out that the best version of himself wasn't just going to show up one day. It had to be crafted, worked for, earned. Now, let's talk about Buffalo. Because if there's one team that served as the ultimate test for Robinson in year one, it was the Bills. The battles with Buffalo weren't just games, they were lessons. They were benchmarks. The first time he faced them, a humbling experience. The second time, a turning point. His first career sack came in Week 9, in a 30-27 Dolphins loss. A moment of validation, yes, but also a moment of recognition. He had officially entered the league, but the league wasn't about to take it easy on him. And if we're talking about challenges, let's talk about Dion Dawkins. Because according to Chop, that was the guy who gave him his true welcome to the NFL moment. And not in the way you might think. See, a lot of rookies get welcomed with a crushing hit, a devastating pancake, or a soul-snatching juke. But for Robinson, it was different. Dawkins didn't just dominate him physically. He educated him. Play after play, Robinson lined up across from him, determined to win. And play after play, Dawkins made it clear. Not today. But here's the thing. Dawkins wasn't just out there to embarrass the rookie. He was talking to him, coaching him, offering insights mid-game. You got to get off the ball faster. You got to be better with your hands. That's not trash talk. That's mentorship disguised as competition. That's what separates the good from the great in this league. The best players don't just play, they teach. They challenge. They make sure that when you do finally beat them, you earned it. And Chop, he took that lesson to heart. Now, let's fast forward. Season's over. Rookie year in the books. What's next? What does Chop Robinson do now? He builds. He refines. He takes everything he learned, the sacks, the losses, the adjustments, the Dawkins battles, and he turns them into fuel for 2025. And when asked about his offseason focus, his answer wasn't about specifics. It wasn't about pinpointing 1 or 2 things to work on. No, his answer was bigger than that. Honestly, everything. That's not a cop-out. That's not a generic response. That's a mindset. That's a player who understands that he's only scratched the surface. His hands, they need to be better. His get-off needs to be faster. His ability to stop the run needs to improve. He's not satisfied. He's not resting on 6 sacks and an all-rookie selection. He's looking at the veterans still around him, still studying, still refining, still evolving. Because he knows something now, something that rookies don't always figure out in year one. Growth in the NFL isn't linear. It's not a straight path. It's a battle. Some days, you feel unstoppable. Other days, you feel lost. But what separates the good from the great is what you do with those ups and downs. And Chop Robinson, he's not just here to be good. He's here to be great. And the Miami Dolphins, they need him to be. Because in a league where defenses live and die by their pass rush, Robinson's evolution isn't just a personal journey. It's a necessity.